We interrupt this commercial break to talk about all the items in Jungle Joyride Zone. As usual, I'm looking at the Wii version and I'm starting with the daytime stage. And speaking of starting, near the beginning of the stage there is an item, and an obvious one at that. On this narrow stretch of land, stay in the middle of the road and lo and behold, you'll see it. The second one is after the straightaway where you face the jetpack robot. Once you can control yourself, steer over to the left and homing attack this robot with a spring. The action chain that ensues will lead you on a couple of higher platforms, and well yeah, to that too. And really, that's it. Now, the nighttime portion is gonna be longer because there are 4 levels instead of 3. You know how there was one item before that you found by going backwards? Well, there's another one in Starry Night. Later, when the stage focuses more on platforming, you'll see the next item as you're swinging along these handlebars. And it's not too hard to get it either. As a matter of fact, there's a pole right next to the hut where it is, so you can climb up, go off to the right, and get it. And it looks like that ends the level. But as that door closes, the door to Restless Coast Side opens. There are 3 whirlpools at the beginning of the level, but you only need to worry about the last one. Take a ride on this floating piece of wood and you'll see a piece of rock sticking out. You'll have to deal with a cluster of jars, but you can still get the item and drop down back on the piece of wood. You're gonna be on that platform anyway because you have to go all the way to the other side of the whirlpool. I mean, sure, it's pretty boring, but you have to go there anyway because there's a stone platform with another item. Later you get to a safer area with a boardwalk that leads to this beach. But before you do a lot of exploring, it'd be convenient to go just to the left of the boardwalk because there's this. Even though the main path is off to the left, there's still something to find if you look off to the right. There's a group of boulders along the wall and yeah, it should look suspicious. Give it a few punches and you'll expose the secret area. Naturally, there's a cluster of jars surrounding an item, but there's also a little something for you once you go back. Once you deal with this little something, then you can go off to the left and go towards the goal ring. Okay, so enough with the beach, we're going into the deep jungle. Right away, there are these glowing bars hanging over you, and as you can see, you're gonna have to pull up on the first one and then go to the right. Later on, there's the tree trunk that you have to go up, but before you do, check out the right side of the tree, because if you check behind this root, you'll see a little patch of grass with an item. Now you can head up the trunk of the tree, and go to the point where you see these bars sticking out. There are 4 in a row on top, but there's also a conspicuous one down below. So head down to it, and to the platform right next to it. But you won't need to worry about using the bars to get back up again, because there's a flapper that'll help you instead. Farther up the road, you'll come to another intersection, but instead of the main path being on the left, it's on the right, and you have to go to the left. At the end of the path, past these spiked balls, you'll find a pole that you can climb up, and obviously a bar that you can grab if you jump forward. Continue to the left, and this item awaits. At this point, you can either backtrack to the right, or take this little flapper guy and get on the main path that way. But I think if you gallop back the way you came, that's faster, and this is the last item, so you want to get to the goal ring anyway. Here's one last level, Heavenly Ruins. Not too much to look for at first, but that changes once you get off this carriage. There's a titan that spawns, but if you look past him, you'll see something on top of the wall that's also important. Consequently, you'll have to find a way to get on top of the wall, which is to get on this platform and jump off some of this stuff here so you can get high enough to get on there. If you look farther back, you'll see a crate that you can use to jump up here too, but all that really matters is that you jump up here and that you get the item. Later, you have these doors at the side of the road that you have to grab to open. Not surprisingly, there are some items you can get from here, but the collectible you're looking for is in the second to last door. There's a combat scene after this, and as you go on, you'll see a fork in the road. The main path is off to the left, but it begs the question, what's on the right? First off, you'll see a door and some Gaia Soul hiding behind it, but if you go around the right side of the building, you'll find something that you're more interested in. And again, there's a flapper leading you back to the main path, or you can just backtrack. Next up, this is the point where you can see the goal ring. But if you look to the left, it'll be obvious that something's up. In fact, if you climb this pole and jump off to the left, you'll have an item on this ruin. And to add to that, there's some stuff at the corners of this combat section. There's a couple of groups of jars, and guess what's hiding among the group on the left? It's the last item, and the goal ring's really close, so take on what's left of the monsters, head of the goal ring, and you're done. And once again, the time has come to close off. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful and want to like, comment, and subscribe, but just react to the videos you wish, and feel free to follow me on the social networks in the links in the description, or check out some other videos on my channel.